What What's up, guys? PDC here, and today we got a special game. We got BKC versus Roro, and I'm gonna be joined in this call with some other members. Introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
What's up? I'm Shake It Up.
I mean, Shake It Up has a terrible mic at the moment, so it looks like we won't be getting the bops and the dashes and the yahoos that we deserve. But BKC is running an interesting team. I believe I've seen the team like this before. I believe it's the HP Fire Alakazam team. And we see McMeghan with a interesting rain build. Certainly a good pick. There's no Exco, which is a bit surprising, but BKC has a decent Exco insurance anyway in Sash Zam, Lando, Keldeo, and Skarmory. So looking at the teams, this is pretty interesting. I wouldn't say... I'm looking at the matchups, and Toxicroak is certainly annoying. Only really under rain, though, I guess. And you have things like Latios and Hydreigon, the dual Dragon, which is always a pain for slower teams and bulky stands to deal with, because you're going to be relying on Tyranitar to take Dracos and Focus Blasts and stuff like that. And when you have things like Mungus, Skarmory, and I assume that's a Scarf Lando, the tanking ability is pretty compromised. But the Triple Dragon is definitely going to be hard for BKC to deal with. SD Chomp, while it doesn't even really set up to be a pain. So yeah, this is looking, it's going to be an interesting game.
Doesn't Zam kind of go in?
Oh, Zam 100% goes in, because actually that's probably Scarf Chomp. Yeah, or actually no, it's either Scarf Chomp or Scarf Toad. Usually they run SD Chomp on Rain, so I'd imagine it's Scarf Toad. We see the lead with Keldeo, which is yeah, that's pretty expected. I'm assuming this is either Specs or Belt. BKC is a huge fan of Specs Keldeo. He runs it on a lot of his bulky sand teams, so he's probably going to just go for either a Sacred Sword turn 1, because McMeghan's fighting resists are pretty bad, and Toxicroak out of rain is no Spec Sword switch, so as long as this isn't like Chople, Hydreigon, then Sacred Sword is going to be punishing something pretty hard here. Alright, yep. And yep, 47. Alright. At this rate, I mean... Oh shit, alright. He goes with the dual Sacred Sword, and we see a Toxic on the Kelt. Toxicroak is probably, yeah, it's a sub-punch Toxic set, and that kind of neuters the Toxicroak. But Keldeo being poisoned is certainly not good for BKC either. So, I mean, he has a...
I mean, he didn't really lose anything by going for Sword again.
Yeah, there's no reason, yeah. Once you see the leftovers, like, I mean, he probably would have 2 KO'd if it was just 0 HP. So, I mean, he just swords again, and now Toxicroak is down. So that's, yeah, Toxicroak is essentially, but damn, that's a great start, actually. The Specs Kel just absolutely ignores everything on this team. I mean, it's not over yet or anything. There's no, you know, games, this is a very early game, and McMeghan has some equally hard hitters, which can force situations nearly exactly like that. And we see Toad with Psychic gets dropped. This might have...
So that means the Toad's not Scarf?
That's not Scarf Toad, no. No way, that's obviously Specs Keld. It might have, like, Kustap, it might be Protect. I don't like the idea of sacrificing Toad this early, though. I mean, it's not like the sand is too big a deal for McMeghan's team. With Croak on, he doesn't have too much of a reason. If this has Protect, that'd be really good. He went to Toad over Latios, which I understand. Yeah, that makes sense. So he goes Toad here. If he goes to Latios, it just gets trapped. This matchup isn't... Without Excadrill, I mean, it really is kind of annoying. Excaladios is such a good combination under Rain, and it makes me wonder why McMeghan would forego that. I'm assuming he expected BKC to bring a really slower and bulky team where something like Toxicroak would flourish. But at this rate, yeah, this is a... The BKC has a good enough advantage. He's going to Sacred Sword again and deal hard damage, and Keldeo is essentially doing its job here. Although Garchomp now is actually even more of a threat, because Keldeo, it really only comes down to Lando and Alakazam. Those are the 2 checks left, because Lando is probably going to be Scarf, and Alakazam is probably, I think this is the HP Fire build. I know I've seen one exactly like it. So I guess we'll have to see. Who's in call?
I mean, Zam is a huge ass threat, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure, because, I mean... He could be HP Ice. The problem is BKC's team is not... It's probably Taunt Skarm because it's certainly annoyed by Ferrothorn. There's no doubt in my mind that something like Ferrothorn could be a complete pain. So I guarantee you he's packing some fire moves. If he's not packing HP Fire Zam, then he's probably packing, you know, Fire Blast, HP Fire on Amoonguss, Taunt Skarm. If he has HP Ice, usually Chomp like this or Yacha Berry. I'd imagine that Ferrothorn it just spikes SR, and we see him go to T-Tar there on the Latios switch, and BKC makes a good play, traps the Latios just like that. Damn, that was definitely a very good play on his part. Traps the Latios immediately. Although Latios may have a trick up its sleeve, I don't know. It might just be standard specs, or it could be something else interesting, because McMeghan is known to sprinkle some really odd effects in his team, so I guess we'll have to see. So far, this is turning out to be a pretty okay game. Although McMeghan's team is certainly... Okay, so Surf, yeah, that's doing nothing. He goes for the Pursuit. T-Tar, however, is going to be essentially dead if it takes him to the Surf, and... Oh, a crit! Damn, that is not good. That's no... BKC, I can already feel the seething anger under Kevin's skin. That's not good for BKC at all, because you can get Rain up permanently. His only real resist now is Amoonguss. Keldeo is dead. He has a Scarf, a Specs Latios, which we all know is going to be able to just switch in on something and fire off Surf. Like I said, I imagine that is a variation of Taunt Skarm. But Ferrothorn is actually a pain in the ass too now, and we see a Draco, which I assume BKC lives, goes for the Spore. Good play, good play. Hydreigon isn't going to be doing too much anymore. Like I said, I mean, now that Rox isn't up, Latios is never taking any passive damage as long as McMeghan isn't stupid. If he gets it in on a double, Draco or Surf is going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. We see a Skarm switch, double out. This is where we'll see if it's Taunt or not. If it's Taunt, then Ferrothorn isn't as big of a deal. But if it isn't, then... Okay, yeah, there's Taunt. Okay, so that means he is probably HP Ice. But we see a knockoff, which is certainly annoying. The thing here, though, is that this Skarm, unless it's M-Dragon Skarm with Taunt and Brave Bird and no Whirlwind, Specs Latios can come into this for free every single time. So we see a Whirlwind out, and he brings in the Hydreigon, but he can just go right back into Latios here, unless BKC, of course, switches out and goes into his Alakazam or his Lando. And we see... Oh, shit! Oh, my God! It's Sleep Talk Hydreigon. Damn, that's actually genius.
McMeghan, yeah, there's gotta be something going on there.
To be honest, we should have expected that. It's only because Latios usually is the Sleep Talk holder, which is why it's surprising. Although, to be honest, that should have been predictable. That's definitely why BKC would have went to Zam, because he is afraid of the Sleep Talk. There's no way that McMeghan would go down without a fight here. And Sleep Talk Hydreigon is actually really cool, because when you're running Sleep Talk Hydreigon, the thing is that you are not able to be pursued as easily. That's the whole bonus of Hydreigon. So having Sleep Talk is actually really cool. The miss sucks, but, you know, what are you really going to do? He's going to go to Toad, and we see Focus Blast missed, but this is not a Scarf Toad, so he's going to probably just finish it off with Psychic. He might go back to Ferrothorn. Yep, he might just go back to Ferrothorn, and no drop, so he's going to live a Focus Blast. That looks to be just standard Sash Spam, because Orb would have done around 20. Probably Power Whip here. Ferrothorn is a pain still, because like I said, if McMeghan starts predicting this right, he can just go back to Latios and fire off Dracos. We see a Focus Blast, and we see a Gyro Ball connect, so no accuracy troubles, and Zam is now down to Sash, so he no longer can use this as a buffer or emergency buffer to Specs Latios. So yeah, this is actually getting pretty dangerous. The one thing is what is his Scarfer? Does McMeghan even have a Scarfer? Because if that's Scarf Chomp, it's not going to be too big of a help. But if it's SD, I mean, that's going to be putting pressure on Skarm every single time. And we see a Stealth Rock up, so that's even more annoying for Skarm, right? Because Skarm doesn't have leftovers now, so it has even more trouble dealing with a Garchomp, or more trouble dealing with a Latios if it decides to Draco Meteor or Dragon Pulse. This is like I said, when early in the game, when I mentioned that you shouldn't call games early, this is exactly what I meant, because they can turn just like this, and it can appear that McMeghan has the advantage, or if it's almost an even playing field now, even after the really early elimination of Croak. Of course, that was because of the Surf crit, but either way, this is definitely a very close game. So, damn, this is actually pretty good. This is probably one of the best games I've seen all week, because the playing here is certainly up to caliber. Oh, alright, so there's Gyro Ball. That's Rocks. That's... okay, so...
He's not Scarf Window.
No, he's not. That's interesting, too. I mean, I veered more on that. I thought it was the standard, but... yeah, so Latios can only come in once now. This complicates things a lot. This is... yeah, this definitely complicates things, because that means Tar was probably 4 taxed Choppel. Latios can only come in one more time, and I don't think McMeghan wants to bring it in here, because if he brings it in here, then that 100% means that he just sacks Keldeo, goes to Zam, and Latios is gone. So he's going to go to Garchomp. This might be actually no Scarfer on either of these teams, which is really interesting, because this Aquatail right here, if he is Aquatail, he gets a kill, essentially, because if he goes Scarm after...
Isn't that pretty standard on the rain?
Yeah, it's... usually the standard when you see Chomp, you expect SD Aquatail Yachiberry. So, unless this is Scarf, but if he's Scarf, he wouldn't have brought it in here. I think that Toad might be Kustat Berry. So he's probably keeping that in the back, just in case. He can withstand hazards and another layer of spikes, I believe, for now. So he's probably keeping that in the back in case he needs to get off a quick hit later in the game. But right now, Garchomp is definitely a huge threat. And if it's SD Aquatail, he might just be able to go for a kill here. I think you go straight for A-Tail here. And yep, there's Aquatail, and there goes the Lando, so that's 1-1 gone. And in comes Keldeo, probably. Yep, there's Keld. Looks like it's going to be a trade here, because McMeghan either decides to sack Toad or sack Latios. Here's the Toad sack, and Keldeo's going to go down the Toxic as well. Sacred Sword. Now he's going to probably be forced to... okay, so this is a bit of a toss-up, because if he goes Latios here, you're running the risk of BKC going Zam. He can go to Hard...
I mean, Zam can clean now, can't it?
Yeah, but Chomp is almost definitely Yachiberry, so he's going to be taking 1 HP Ice, even after this layer of hazards. And I think the next one too, but just barely. And knowing that Skarmory can't hurt Garchomp is really, really worrisome. But McMeghan's timer is incredibly low, so he's just going to have to go with the gut play here. BKC has all the time to decide in the world. This is a hard decision to go to, because if BKC goes Zam here on Latios, that one is gone. If he goes to Zam on a Hydreigon, he Focus Blasts. I think Chomp is probably the best play here, or Latios. Okay, he goes Latios. Alright, so this is definitely good for McMeghan, because he goes for a Surf, I believe, but that might not kill, and... oh, what? That's... Recover? Jeez, okay. I'm assuming that's Specs, so McMeghan goes back to Garchomp here on the double Alakazam, I think. Yeah, there's the Garchomp switch. Let's see if BKC predicted it. Nope, he goes to Zam. He goes for Aquatail here, or Earthquake. He needs to keep...
Psychic too?
Psychic is not killing, because then Latios automatically wins with Hydreigon. So this is another 50-50, because McMeghan has barely any time left. We'll have to see the play here. I don't know if Aquatail 2-KOs Skarm at this health. I don't think it does. But usually Taunt Skarm are either mixed or almost full specially defensive. I'd imagine this is a mixed Skarmory because he already has a Choppletar, so this is a big play here. If he goes for Swords Dance on the switch, then... okay, he goes for A-Tail, 31, okay, alright. SD up, yep. There's the Whirlwind, and there's the Latios. He can just Draco here pretty freely because obviously Skarmory is not taking it, and looking at the Aquatail damage, I'd imagine it's not going to be taking the next one. Okay, he goes for the Surf. I don't know why he went for Surf there. Unless he's not Specs? Is he not Specs? Looking at the damage from earlier on T-Tar, I thought that was just a really specially defensive... actually, no, Specs would have 2-KO'd, so... I don't know, because that could have definitely been a very heavily special defensive T-Tar because it was 4 attacks. So I'd imagine it would have been maybe near 290, and that could have been a very low ball roll. We see Surf again. We see Giga Drain. All right. The question is, maybe this is Scarf Latios, but Surf from Scarf Latios did way too much then. Okay, we see Giga Drain here, and we see a Sleep Talk kill, almost 100% positive Sleep Talk kill. Dragon Pulse, yep, Skarmory's down. So now I guess it comes down to sets. I don't have a calculator on me, but looking at that damage, I don't know.
Well, yeah, Focus Blast against this too.
It could. Focus Blast could just go out and miss here because BKC is forced to do it. Because McMeghan might as well sack it. I don't know if Chomp lives in HP Ice now because now it's at... yeah, I think HP Ice should kill Chomp from this range after the hazards, so this might come down. I still don't know the Latios set, or was Latios Scarf, was T-Tar Scarf then? But T-Tar doesn't make a great Scarfer, and it doesn't really revenge kill much.
Would Scarf Latios' Surf Oko Scarf T-Tar in a crit?
Okay, so alright, he goes for Blast, kills Chomp. Is this Scarf Latios? And was that Scarf Tar? But then this team...
I mean, it's gotta be, if you switch it out, it has to be Scarf, right?
The thing is, this team is so weak to Alakazam, BKC's. And not incredibly, but I mean, he has, you know, a Moongus, a Taunt Skarm, which can't Brave Bird, which gets Encored. This is a very pivotal turn here. If this is Psyshock, then this game is over, if it's Scarf. Surf, Recover, Draco, Psyshock, maybe. I don't know if he's tricked or not. He very well could be. He goes to a Moongus. That's really the only play BKC has to make. And we see Draco, and now we get thrown into a 50-50 situation where BKC either goes back to Alakazam, or McMeghan goes and Sleep Talks, which should get a kill no matter what. Because that looks to be Draco, Dragon
Can you really call it a 50-50 if he has to hit Focus Blast?
Well, I mean, the switch here is a 50-50. That's what I'm talking about, because... if McMeghan decides to Draco again, and BKC, because I think I would Draco here. I really think I would go for Draco here, but this is, like I said, it's a 50-50 call, and I don't like being in these situations myself. McMeghan has no time left. Looks like we're going to see seeing the outcome of this game any second now, because it all comes down to this turn. Unless, of course, McMeghan gets radically lucky with Focus Blast, but I don't know if HP Ice is going to be able to kill at 50. If BKC even has to rely on that, I mean, that comes down to Calx too. I think McMeghan... I would go for the Draco here, honestly.
Yeah, you Draco here every time.
I mean, it's a 50-50. But yeah, that was a... I didn't have... damn, so I guess that was Scarf Tar? Because this has to be Scarf Latios. And that's not Specs. I thought it was... okay, yep, Draco. And wait a minute. Okay, Giga? Okay, Latios lives... he gets another chance. Latios probably lives Rocks here. Or not probably, but there's a chance it does. And BKC has to analyze that chance because 13, 12.5. Yeah, there's a chance Latios lives Rocks here again. I mean, only McMeghan knows that, but yeah, this complicates things a lot. It comes down. I mean, I don't know. I think PS rounds up on when it shows you. That was, you know...
he'll know, but
yeah,
that's it.
McMeghan will know, but now we see BKC's timer going low too, and... oh, God, I don't know. Because if Roro lives Rocks, which only he knows... I mean, I think you... I think I would just Giga Drain here, because... I think BKC is probably adding up percents. Because when you're the player, I believe it shows you the percents, but... yeah, BKC's timer is real low. He goes to Hydreigon. We see what McMeghan does. And he goes to Zam, and... this might be game. We see Draco. We see that. And Latios lived? Alright, so... it comes down to a crit now at this point. Will BKC get crit, and will Smogon end? No! Alright, BKC manages to win in a absolutely great game. My god, that was a really good game. BKC managed to win the 50-50s, and I guess it was not really a 50-50 on the last Draco because McMeghan lived the rocks, and I guess, I mean, goddamn, that was a good game. What more can I say, really? I guess that was Scarftar.
Goat.
Yeah, GOAT. What more can I say? I'm sure BKC would be very mad at the GOAT comment, but yeah, that's gonna be it. That was a really good game. That's all I can really say about it. I guess it was Scarftar. Yeah, that's all I got. So anyway, any last comments, Sam?
I know nothing about Black and White, so no.
Black and White is a great metagame. Alright, I'm going to end it off here. Thank you guys for watching this amazing game, and I'm really glad I could watch it live. With that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.